I'm Doug Lehman, and I've got,
Theo Gilbert-Jamison.
and today we're going to talk about executive coaching. And I know, Theo, you really do a lot when it comes to coaching and training, especially service excellence training and executive coaching. I know it's one
I
of your
do.
favorite topics.
It really is, Doug. So I'm really excited just to jump right in. We've got a lot of great stuff that we can share. We want to make this fun, but at the same time, just some really great content that we can share with people today.
Well, executive coaching, how did you get started doing executive coaching?
Doug, it happened organically because I realized that 17 years as a consultant for service excellence, customer experience, leadership effectiveness, accountability, the whole nine yards. I was doing a lot of coaching the whole time. So 2 years ago, I had a client ask right at the beginning of COVID, as things slowed down, if I would create an executive coaching program to coach a couple of their executives. And I jumped on it. And it's been what a wonderful ride since then.
When it comes to coaching, any type of coaching, but executive coaching, there are a lot of perceptions or the purpose of executive coaching. Can you speak to that a little bit with your own experience?
Yes, I have had a business coach, work life balance coach, sales coach, leadership coach, all of that along the way. It's really kind of helped me to gain some perspective. But what I find is that the purpose of a coach or what people are looking for is someone that's just that trusted advisor, a sounding ear that they can share their leadership challenges with, and someone that will help them um, define and implement a path to success. So that's what it's really about.
You mentioned the word trusted advisor and having the right coach or executive coach for that. Let's talk about styles and types of executive coaches. Can you speak to that a little bit more? Because I know when it comes to the human element, you got different styles, different flavors on coaching. We also talked about the trust factor, but there's different styles, different flavors of coaching, good and bad.
Right. There's three types. We've got the super talkative, and these are typically people that are extremely accomplished. So I don't want to take anything for that. But in my professional career, I've had a couple of coaches that I was enamored by their background, expertise, all the things that they've done, the companies that they've worked with. But what I found was throughout the coaching process, that's all I learned was everything about them. So it really didn't help me because we never really talked about my challenges and how to help me overcome them. So number one is that super talkative coach. Then the second, and I find myself falling in this category sometimes, is the coach that's too much of a cheerleader. You can do no wrong in their eyes, and they really don't share the objective feedback that they should because maybe they don't want to hurt your feelings, maybe they don't want to step over bound. But the most effective coach is that one that I call the trusted advisor. They are a balance between really listening so that they can hear everything that's going on with you and also helping you define your path to success.
I've experienced all those styles of coaches when it comes to ideally the trusted advisor where it's an engagement level. But when you've got the cheerleader, which is supportive and we need support,
Yes.
but if I'm not getting any validation or any results, I love go fight team win, rah, 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 cheerleader. But I need some tangible results. And of course, I don't even use the word arrogance or the talkative or the know it all. You want a coach that's, well, has skills, has the talent, has the pedigree, but can they coach? Are they relatable? Are they listening? You kept referring to, now this is a video, but if here's an audio form, you kept grabbing on your ear and giving me the nonverbal communications that you've got to listen. So the talkative goes both ways. When it comes to going both ways, when it comes to coaching, what about the coachee or the person being coached, the participant, however you want to call it? What styles do you see in that when you're coaching people?
Yes, again, there are three different types of people that participate in coaching programs. But before I get to that, let me just establish that there's a misconception that people that are in coaching programs have voluntarily decided that this is what they want to do. And more often than not, they are assigned to be a part of a professional development program that's usually executive or leadership coaching. So they come into something in many instances that they've been designated to attend or be a part of. So with that, you end up with three different types of people. The ones that are super evasive, they don't want to be there. They're only coming because they're only attending because most of it's virtual because their manager made them come, and they are going to do everything within their power to avoid having a coaching session with that executive coach. So that's number one. The second type of coached or coaching participant is the one that's a little too cautious. They don't know much about this program, but they're very rigid because they're not sure what's going to happen with this information. Is this going
It's
to
a
hurt
comfort,
them?
yeah,
I'm
comfort
thinking more
level.
negative. There you go, than positive. But the best person for coaching or that maximizes and gets the most of it is a person that comes open-minded, that's fully engaged. They look at it as an opportunity to excel professionally, and they look at it as a benefit, not a burden. They look at it as an honor that their organization has selected them to be a part of the program. Those are the people that get the most out of it.
Well, I can relate to those on so many levels. When it comes to, first of all, if you're being coached, you're volunteering to do that. You're asking for help in most cases, but you alluded to the fact that some coaching programs are like, it's a management directive that I have to be in the class. Well, if
Yeah.
you're going to be in the class, you might as well participate. You might as well get involved in it if you have that right mindset. So it comes down to mindset, voluntary if you're supposed to be there, if you want to be there, but it comes down to mindset and trust. There's a
Yeah.
lot of do's and don'ts. There's good coaching, there's bad coaching. You talked about the cheerleader style where it's supportive, but you may not get much value. I always look at it when it comes to like sports. I've heard the term players coach, where it's the real supportive coach, but a lot of people relate to people that give them results that are tough on them. On that, do's and don'ts. I'll get to the question. Do's
Yeah.
and don'ts in executive coaching. Can you just kind of fire off some thoughts off the top of your head on that?
Yeah. Don't come in with the wrong perception. Do come in with an open mind. Don't come in um, cautious, rigid, fearful. Come in with an open mind, looking at the fact that, you know what, I may get something out of this. Paired with challenges that you'd like to discuss with your coach. So, again, they can help you with corrective action or maybe the most effective process to overcome successfully whatever that leadership challenge might be.
I like that, coming in with challenges, but coming in with an agenda to
Hmm.
have that call to action. And speaking of call to action, what do you have going on when it comes to executive coaching? You got any special programs, workshops? Can you speak to that a little bit?
I do. Right now, I've got, and I'm looking down at my notes if you don't mind. I've got my new program. The executive coaching program we've had going on for about 2 years, but we continue to improve it every couple of months. So we're calling it Unlocking Your Executive Leadership Potential. And what's involved in the program is unlimited one on one coaching between me and the coachee or the coach, the person that's in the program. We have an online learning platform that they can utilize. And we're also doing different podcasts and webinars and just anything to cover all levels of learning because people learn differently. So I'm super excited about that. I'd also like to say that, too, with our coaching program, or what really makes an effective program, as you said, results. Coming out of a program, every time that a person meets with their coach, there should be action steps. What are you going to do next, Theo? What are you going to improve or to overcome this challenge? And when they have the next session, that should be the point of discussion. All right, give me a status update on what you've done since we had our last conversation. I always,
Benchmarks, raising
there
that
you
bar,
go.
service excellence,
Yes.
checkpoints. I get it.
Yes. And a coaching program always has to be what's in it for the person that's being coached. A great coach will always start with what will make this session of value to you. So they don't go on some tangent of whatever they want to talk about, right? And then secondly, it should give them an opportunity to discuss that leadership challenge. So people always just need to come prepared and equipped with what you've got going on so that you can get that, again, sounding bar, that listening ear to help you work through how you can successfully exceed in that area.
No, I love it. I love that. And we're going to put more information up on that. And speaking of sounding bars and information, I'm looking forward to what I'm working on with you is some video
Yes.
collaboration and doing more topics when it comes to executive coaching or raising that bar of service excellence, customer service. We really are going into that content more and more with video content. Is there anything else that you want to add, Theo, before we wrap this up?
Well, I'd like to say that we'd like to have more things like this. I learned something new recently. It's called dialogic learning. I'd never heard of that before, but it's learning through dialogue. It's exactly what we're doing right now when we take a topic that people are interested in, and just as friends or as colleagues, as subject matter experts, we divulge into it and just give our perspective. So I'd like to also do more of this. So for those that are my listeners out there, if there are any topics, what I like to focus on: leadership effectiveness, customer experience. I like to focus on accountability. So if there's anything in those spaces that you'd like for us to talk more about, put it in the comments, and maybe your topic will be one that we select for the next time we meet.
I love that, and have that two-way engagement with the audience. And what I'm really getting into is communication and media skills from a level of video production or audio production, and really having that mindset to have those informative conversations, having that dialogue. And what was that term that you talked about learning? What did you just say?
Dialogic learning. It's learning through dialogue.
In layman's terms, learning through dialogue. I love it. And speaking of dialogue, I'm about to wrap this up. Theo, is there anything else that you want to add?
Doug, you are a great coach. So if anybody out there that needs coaching on video or any of this type of stuff in the space, and I always say that for those of you that are like me, you're consultants, you are keynote speakers, you are trainers, and you're moving out on your own, look Doug up. He is the best. All right. Do that for me. Thank you.
All right. Checks in the mail. Another great session here. We mean that sincerely. Anything that you want us to engage when it comes to the world of service excellence, media training, we're definitely going to launch more and more episodes. Theo, it's been a pleasure, as like you like to say, my pleasure.
Yes.
And I look forward to doing another video collaboration project with you soon. Theo, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm Doug Lehman.
And I'm Theo Gilbert-Jamison.
And we thank you out there for social watching.